What up, peeps? It's time for another session of that verbal cardio, the visual edition, man. What's up, man? Back in business, man. I ain't got my co-host with me right now, Water. Water took a day off. Actually, took just the afternoon off. You know what I'm saying? Water's always in the building. I encourage everybody watching this, please, 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 please make it a point to drink more water, man. Drink more water. Water is my co-host for a reason. We need it to live. You can't, there's no getting around it. There's no tap dancing around it. There's no, I don't like the taste. I need something. Drink more water. Water is life. Trust me. Trust me. It's the reason we're all here. It's good for you. Drink more water. Simple as that. No ifs, ands, or buts. So my sympathies go to the victims that were in a synagogue in San Diego. Gunmen came in there, guns blazing, killing a member of the temple. It's, I don't know what's happening, man. It's like, stuff like this just keeps happening around the world. It's like, come on, man. Like, why? Like, what are we doing? Just going in there, killing innocent people in a place of worship. Just, man, nobody's safe out here. Nobody's safe. I'm just like, God damn it, man. I'm sick of it, man. Tired of it, man. That's why guns are so tricky, man. Like, you want to put a ban on them, but you want people to bear on it. It's a sticky subject. I don't even know what to say on it. I went to a gun range in Hawaii. You know, me and Kevin then went. I took my son. We was just in there shooting. It was expensive, man. Like when I think about the money I spent just to shoot a few rounds, and they didn't even let us shoot that many rounds. Man, I was like, man, it's pricey shooting guns out here, man. But it was cool. It was fun. It was a fun experience. My son had never been shooting before, so I had shot guns before, but he'd never been. So kind of cool. Yo, look at my painting in the back. Does it look creepy to y'all? Like somebody hiding around the corner? That's a painting of me that Maya Osborne drew. Very talented artist. She's one of the producers on my YouTube content. Yeah, it looks creepy though right now. Got the Christmas tree up. Yes, I know what's up. Your comments are not gonna make me take it down any faster. So I don't give a damn what y'all talking about the tree. It's just tree. So learn to live with it, y'all, because I'm living with the tree. So it's too late. We already about to hit May. It's too late to take it down now. That's the memorial tree. That's my birthday tree. My birthday coming up in May. So birthday tree. What y'all gonna do? Y'all can't whoop me. Anyway, it's a glorious day, man. Tuesday. You know, John Singleton passed away yesterday. If you don't know, he had a stroke. And his family took him off life support yesterday. And it's crazy, man. He was 51 years old. 51 years old, had a stroke. It's sad, man. It's like, it always sucks that death makes you think about people more. You know, you always gonna get the, where was this love when they was alive? You want to give people their flowers while they're alive, but unfortunately, life happens, life goes on. People are just living their lives. We're not always thinking that somebody can go tomorrow. That's just not how our mindset is. So it's like, we're not really overlooking anybody purposely. It's just, you know, it's just, you appreciate people, but you just forget. You forget to say, man, I'm glad you alive. I'm glad you here. You the best around. Nothing's ever gonna keep you down. You're the best. We just forget to say that sometimes. So y'all the best around. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all, man. Thank you for the support. Thank you for even watching me right now. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate every morsel, every piece of that. But John Singleton, man, I want to talk about him. Before I get into John Singleton, I just put up a tweet and a post on my Instagram recently. And I guess it went to Facebook too. I was just saying, I was nearly stating that women are better supporters than men in terms of when the money's spent. And, you know, people got offended in the comment section. They like, yeah. But I'm just stating it wasn't an opinion. I'm looking at the numbers based on my content, based on the stuff I'm putting out, based on the shows I've done, the pictures we take with people at shows on the tour, mostly female, man. And so those are the numbers. The numbers don't lie. A lot of dudes, because if you look at my following, like on Instagram, for example, and Facebook, when you look at the analytics, I have majority male followers. Like, it's like 63% to 37%. That's the male to female ratio for me. 63% male, 37% female. And it's like 50 something, 40 something on Facebook. But like, you know, when I see people buying merch, when I see people at shows, when I see, you know, I see couples at my shows, but like, I see more times than not, women will come by themselves or with a group of girls. Men usually come just to bring a date, just so, you know, I got a date, brought my girl, you know what I'm saying? But some do, but mind you, this is not a general, you know, universal statement. I got much love from the guys out here, trust. You know, they showing me mad support. I'm saying overall, when the sales come in, I'm looking at who's buying stuff. When I was giving shout outs for my patrons, the first 25 people to sign up for my Patreon, 18 were women. Out of 25, 18 were female. My fan base numbers are more male than female, but when it's time to put the money up, I noticed the females step up more often and faster. That's all I was saying. Based on years of just observing the numbers and support, the women put the money up. And so people in their feelings kind of in the comment section. I'm like, don't be mad at me, be mad at the numbers, be mad at the patterns. I'm not making this wasn't an opinion like I like women better. It's just when it comes to putting the money up, the women are stepping up faster. That's when they're the strongest supporter. That's why, like, if you have a strong female fan base, you selling. Why do you think boy bands are moving those crazy numbers? Well, like when the boy band album came out, NSYNC doing 2 million in the first week. That wasn't dudes cramming and scrambling to the record store. That was rabid women. You know what I'm saying? Ellen, Oprah, the fan base, the audience base, women. You look at the audience, women. So it's like women pull up. And so that's all I was saying. Like, you know, you ain't even worth the money. And like, more dudes complain than the females. So it's just like, all right, well, you know, don't be mad at me. I'm just looking at the numbers. I'm just reiterating that women are putting in this bread to me, and I appreciate you ladies. Thank you so much. Appreciate the guys for getting your word of mouth on my support is fantastic. And, you know, and shout out to the guys who have bought my comedy specials, my albums, my patrons, man. Much love. I appreciate y'all. But just know that the women are killing it right now in terms of putting the money up. And I appreciate that so much, man. I appreciate it all. I'm just showing the stats. I'm just showing the stats. Back to John Singleton, though. Let's talk about John Singleton. If you're not familiar with him, he's a film director, film producer, television producer as well. Let's really dissect. And I'm sure y'all have heard of John Singleton. I'm sure y'all have seen one of his movies. I'm confident that you have. You know what I'm saying? His debut film, his debut major motion picture was Boys in the Hood. Okay, we all familiar with Boys in the Hood. It's a classic. It's a great film. It holds up today. It holds up. Every time Boys in the Hood is on, I enjoy it. It didn't lose any of its luster over the years that it's been out. It's just a strong film, strong cast, strong performances, heartbreaking. It's just a really dope, it's a dope movie. It's a classic. It stands the test of time. Now, John Singleton also wrote Boys in the Hood. He wrote and directed the movie. And that's just dope, man. He was young when he did that. And so these are the films that he's directed. Boys in the Hood, the Remember the Time video by Michael Jackson. We all remember that. Poetic Justice, Higher Learning. Okay. He did a lot of Michael Jackson stuff. He directed the short film for Remember the Time, and then they got him under the history thing, I guess, for Remember the Time. I'm looking at it as IMDb right now. So that's how we getting it. The film Rosewood, Shaft, Baby Boy, Too Fast, Too Furious, Four Brothers. He directed the 30 for 30 on Marion Jones for ESPN. This movie called Abduction. He directed an episode of Empire. He directed an episode of American Crime Story. He directed a TV episode of Rebel, TV episode of Billions, TV series, 3 episodes of Snowfall, which he's also a producer on. And so those are his credits. You know, he's also written, he's also produced. Like I said, Snowfall, Rebel. He's a producer on Black Snake Moan, Hustle and Flow, Time Out, Woo. And so, you know, he's been out here, man. In 1991 was his film debut, Boys in the Hood. I remember watching it opening weekend. Let's take it back. If y'all don't know, I'm 41 years old. I'll be 42 next month. Boys in the Hood came out summer of 1991. I remember going to see it opening weekend. It came out July 91. I remember going to see it opening weekend. That's the same summer Terminator 2 came out. Went to see it opening weekend, packed theater, just packed. I remember when it came on, they showed that Columbia Pictures symbol, and then you could hear just the sound of the streets in the background, dumping going on as the title just hits you in the face. The Boys in the Hood title just comes in, zooms in like that, and it was like you were all in immediately. And it just took you into that world, man. Everything felt believable and real, and like, even if you didn't live in that type of lifestyle, like, you felt it, you connected with the people. It was like, start out with Trey as a kid, you know what I'm saying? And he had knowledge of self. He was in school, you know, trying to put the kids on game. He was like, man, you know what I'm saying? He was trying to tell them, y'all from Africa, man, you know what I'm saying? Telling them that, you know, Africans, we got a rich history out here. Man, I ain't from Africa, you from Africa. You African booty scratcher? Fuck, I'll kick your ass. Remember that? Let you know Trey wasn't having it, man. Trey's mom was played by Angela Bassett. Trey's parents are Angela Bassett and Lawrence Fishburne in this movie. 2 Academy Award nominees. Both actors are working. They've been working steadily ever since Boys in the Hood. And they were also together in What's Love Got to Do with It, the Tina Turner joint. Furious Styles and, you know, Moms right there. So Trey gets in trouble, you know, gets sent home, gets sent to live with his dad in South Central. And the rest is Furious Styles, man. John Singleton wrote such a dope character in Furious Styles, played by Lawrence Fishburne. He's one of my favorite characters of all time. He's a no-nonsense dad, knowledge of self, black and proud, strong, you know, knowledgeable, caring, you know what I'm saying, strict, tough, but caring. Oh, man. This character is he's my favorite character in the movie, closely followed by Doughboy, who was played by Ice Cube. Ice Cube's film debut, he killed it in this. You believed him as a character. It was just dope, man. Nia Long is in this thing, man. And it was like such a good, well-crafted movie. It didn't feel like a whole bunch of caricatures and, like, you know what I'm saying, stereotypes. This movie was so good that the movies after this, it kind of felt like they were being stereotypes of Boys in the Hood. Because before this, you had movies in the same ilk, like, you know, Life in the Hood, Life in the Streets. But they were still from a different perspective. They didn't really focus on, like, when you had New Jack City, which also came out around this time. Maybe like, I think New Jack City came out early 1991. But that was more of a cops and robbers type of joint. It was like the drug dealers versus the cops. So it was more of an action movie. While this was like a drama. This was like a slice of life right here. And you had Morris Chestnut in there. And man, listen, that movie, it blew me away in theaters, man. It was sad. And this, when I saw Boys in the Hood, I wasn't crying in movies like that, like I do now. And so when Ricky died, it was sad, but I still took it like a champ. I took it like a champ. Now I can't take it like a champ. I fold up every time when Ricky gets killed. The part that makes me fold up when Ricky gets killed is because they took him back to the crib. Why'd they take Ricky back to the crib? He died on the couch. The women are coming out crying. The baby's crying. He's like, man, what you hit me for? It was just, and then you see further the dynamic of the favoritism on Ricky over Doughboy from the mom. And it was just like, Trey, he going to get revenge. And Furious is like, nah, man, nah, you stay home. And then he sneaks out. His dad is worried. He's got the stress balls going. It was just a mess. But it was like hard-hitting, powerful, still resonates today. That thing Furious Styles was talking about with gentrification, still going on today. And so, Boys in the Hood, man. Classic film. John Singleton out the gate. Academy Award nomination. He was the youngest director ever to receive a nomination. And it came out the gate swinging, man. He followed that movie up with Poetic Justice. Poetic Justice, that came out, I want to say, 93? Let me look. Poetic Justice, 1993. So it came out. It has similar vibes to Boys in the Hood. It just wasn't as hard hitting. It was lighter on the surface because it was mainly about a relationship. You had the hood element, like Janet Jackson's boyfriend, played by Q-Tip, got shot and killed at the drive-in. So she, shut her heart off. She shut her heart off. And then, Tupac comes along, and then, he breaks down the barrier. It was like a heated exchange between those two. And that's what it was all about, really. So it was pretty much just like a love story with tragic hood elements in the back. It was cool. You know what I mean? It was no Boys in the Hood, but it was a nice little follow-up, Still like the vibe of it, still like the look of it. But, it was no Boys in the Hood. It didn't have Furious Styles in there, no Doughboy. But Tupac was legit in that joint, man. Remember the Time video. You remember the Time video. It's one of Michael Jackson's best songs, in my opinion. Easily his best song post Bad. You know what I'm saying? Like any of the later Michael Jackson, the 1990 and up Michael Jackson, Remember the Time is probably his strongest single, in my opinion. And the Remember the Time video, the choreography, the dancing, dope. It holds up, man. Eddie Murphy was in the video. Magic Johnson, Iman. It was just a dope video, man. The visual, it made you proud to be like black out here. You like, man, that's all right. It was funny how Michael Jackson, though, he had on the Egyptian garb, but he had on looked like just black jeans that were very now. I was like, you got the black jeans on with the boots and the Egyptian setup? You just gonna wear what you want to wear. Michael Jackson was supposed to be in some Egyptian sandals, man. He's supposed to be in the skirt. Let's see them white legs, Mike. Let's see them white legs in the video. You know what I'm saying? You got on the full black pants with the boots and knee pads? Nah, man. You supposed to be Egyptian. Walk and move and dress like an Egyptian. The Bengals said it best. Michael skimmed off the top on that one. We supposed to see your legs, Mike. Let's see them pale legs. Dope video, though. Then, he came out in 95. So he's making a movie like once every 2 years. 95, he came out with Higher Learner. So he brought Ice Cube back. He brought Lawrence Fishburne back into the mix. And this was about 1990s college life dealing with sexism, homosexuality, racism. All of these factors came into play on a campus. And, it was a story about this kid who felt like he was on the outs. He just couldn't fit in with anybody. Nobody wanted to really embrace him. His name was Remy, played by Michael Rappaport. And he ends up getting in with the wrong crowd, the white supremacist crowd. And then that just messes up everything. Omar Epps is an athlete going into school. He meets a little athlete girl played by Tyra Banks. They hitting it off. Jennifer Connelly, she's having, questions about her sexuality. No, not Jennifer Connelly. What's the girl's name from Buffy the Vampire Slayer? You know what I mean? Um, Jennifer Connelly. Who's the girl? Christy Swanson. Okay, Christy Swanson was having, she was coming to grips with her own sexuality out there, and but that movie was hard hitting. There was some hard visuals, hard words in there. Busta Rhymes was in that joint, and that was a sad one too. And the cold part is, he made me sympathetic to Remy, even though he was a white supremacist. I felt bad for him and what led up to him even remotely trying to get embraced by these guys. So you know what I mean? It wasn't like he wasn't painted as a one-dimensional character, which I appreciated, man. So Higher Learning came out. Let's see what else we got. John Singleton. Now, mind you, I saw all these movies in theaters, usually opening weekend, man. I've been about this opening weekend life, man. Get like me, man. I was in there. With John, opening weekend, 3 movies in a row. Then he came out with Rosewood in '97. Rosewood is the movie based on a true story about this like small little town in Florida that got completely just ransacked when somebody falsely accused a black man of raping a white woman, and then all hell breaks loose. Based on a true story. It's got John Voight, Don Cheadle, Ving Rhames, Esther Rolle. This movie was heartbreaking. It was his least successful movie at the box office up to this point. But it was hard hitting. The critics liked it, but man, this movie will make you hate everybody. It's so sad, but so good. I got the DVD over here somewhere, man. And it's heartbreaking, man. It's hard to watch. You just get so pissed, but it's so good, man. I'm glad he made it. So he came out with Rosewood in '97. Okay, I saw that in theaters as well, because I'm about that life. Then he did the remake of Shaft with Sam Jackson as John Shaft. I enjoyed it, man. This was my introduction to Jeffrey Wright as People Hernandez. Christian Bale was in this joint. And, Sam Jackson. And I enjoyed it, man. I really enjoyed Shaft. Like, when I saw it, I was like, yo, I love this movie. I haven't seen it in a long time. I'm not sure if it holds up or not. But in the moment, I really enjoyed Shaft. I was like, yo, I like this movie, man. The critics was like so-so on it. Made about 70 mil at the box office. So, John Singleton had another hit on his hands. But Shaft, man, they're making a sequel now. John didn't direct the sequel. And then they adding in his son, and they bringing back the original John Shaft played by Richard Roundtree. So, anyway, after that, he did Baby Boy. Baby Boy came out right after Shaft. It was like the following year, Baby Boy came out. It stars Tyrese, Snoop Dogg is in there, Taraji P. Henson. This was my introduction to Taraji P. Henson. She killed it in that. Their relationship was a mess. This movie is basically about a young man that's just stuck being a boy his whole life. And in the hood, set in South Central once again. And I don't know, the way his movies were shot, I just like the way they looked. I like the way he made Los Angeles look and feel. I just like the vibe, the cinematic vibe to it. I really liked it. And but Baby Boy is a guilty pleasure. It's not a good movie. It's not a good. It's a solid film, but it's pretty ridiculous. It's like a guilty pleasure. Like, I'll keep watching. It's so rewatchable, but I know it's not a very good film. But it's good, but it's not. I don't know if that's making any sense at all, but Baby Boy is a guilty pleasure. Ving Rhames killed it in Baby Boy. Then in 2003, he directed Too Fast, Too Furious, the sequel to Fast and the Furious. Made over 100 mil. Didn't do quite as good as the first one because they didn't have Vin Diesel in this one. So it was Tyrese and Paul Walker. The Tyrese connection. You see what's going on? And I'm sure John Singleton was like, yo, let's bring Tyrese in. You know what I mean? And so it introduced more characters to the Fast and Furious franchise. But it made over 100 mil. You know what I'm saying? People still pulled up for Too Fast, Too Furious, even though Vin Diesel wasn't there. He still had Paul Walker. You got Tyrese coming in. You know what I'm saying? And so here we go. And so Roman is Tyrese's character's name. So he came into the mix. So that's another hit for John Singleton, man. He out here steadily working. Then in 2005, he making movies every 2 years, y'all. Then in 2005, he came out with Four Brothers, starring Mark Wahlberg, Tyrese again, Andre 3000, and Garrett Hedlund. He was just in that movie Triple Frontier that's on Netflix right now. That was a solid movie, Triple Frontier. It's about these adopted brothers that, you know, in Detroit, they come back together when their mom gets brutally murdered in like a stick-up. And so they come together, and, you know, to figure stuff out. Also introduced me to Chiwetel Ejiofor. That's the first time I came across him. John Singleton put me on to so many actors, man. He put me on to Ice Cube as an actor, Cuba Gooding Jr., Morris Chestnut. He introduced me to Jeffrey Wright, Michael Rappaport. That might have been my first time locking down Michael Rappaport in my mind. I might have seen him in other stuff, but this was the first time I really paid attention to him. Also, the dude in Higher Learning, Cole Hauser. He played one of the white supremacist dudes. That was the first time I really noticed him. Andre Royal, who's also in The Wire. He plays Bubbles in The Wire. I first noticed him in Shaft. Tyrese is an actor. I can't remember what I saw Tyrese in first, but I feel like John Singleton kept him working. And he gave a big role to Andre 3000. And Four Brothers was good, man. I like that movie. I like Four Brothers. It was pretty, that little shootout at the crib was super exciting and sad. So Four Brothers was legit. Then John Singleton, he came in and did a little action joint with Tyler Lautner, he blew up from, he was in Spy Kids, Shark Boy and Lava Girl. He was in those joints, but he blew up on Twilight. And he had this movie called Abduction that come out, and John Singleton directed that. Didn't do good at the box office, so, you know, I didn't see it. I didn't really want to see it. I don't know if it was good or not. On IMDb, though, IMDb gave it. The critics did not like it. You know, it's got the 5.6 rating. That's not terrible. And it made about $28 million at the box office. I mean, you know, it wasn't exactly killing, but, you know. And then, you know, he transpired into television. He came out with the show Snowfall on FX. Snowfall, they're about to start their third season soon. Snowfall is good, man. Like, I'm all in. I'm 2 seasons in. I'm enjoying the show, man. And, you know, I know he was a producer on it. He directed a few episodes. I'm sure the cast is suffering like a tough loss with John Singleton. And I'm interested to see, you know, where they take the show after his passing. So John Singleton, man, shout out to you for giving these quality movies that I've seen several times. I know you ain't watching this, but I just want to thank him, man. I just want to thank him as a movie lover, as a studier of the craft and all of that, man. I appreciate what he's put out here, you know, for us to be entertained by, for us to think about, you know what I'm saying, for us to feel. It's good to see black images on screen like that. And, man, it's a tough loss, man. 51 is way too young to be going up out of here, man. So protect your health, guys. Health is your wealth. Make sure you're good to go. Drink more water out here. Drink more water out here, man. Because of the stroke, man. Strokes just be rolling up, unannounced, coming to your crib, unannounced. They don't call first. They just be popping up, man. Strokes. And even if you survive one, man, you might be disabled after that. And it's tough, man. So shout out to any of you who have experienced the stroke or you got family members who have. My heart goes out. Please take care of yourself, your mind, your body. Make sure it's all working smoothly. Treat your body well, y'all. Make sure you drink more water, though. I can't stress that enough, man. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to another session of that verbal garden.